it's time for me to refocus what I'm doing on my carnivore diet and lose the weight. The last several months I've been desperately trying to just not gain weight. My wife just had a child, I got sick, all sorts of other things happened, and it culminated in like white knuckling it and putting on a bunch of weight, which was really weird. So I am going to do something that I've joked about doing in the past. And I have a weird protocol that I'm going to try that will, in theory, help me to have a good time and lose a bunch of body fat. One of the things that compounded my problems in the last few months is that over the fall, I started having lower back pain. It was an old injury that I got from a couple of years ago, back in 2019, I think it was. There had been an ice storm in the fall, just out of the blue. And we used to have a 45-foot tall maple tree in our backyard, and it got covered in ice, and one of the main branches came down. And at the time, I stupidly thought, well, I deadlift a lot of weight. I bet I could pick this branch up and carry it over to my wood pile. I could get it off the ground, but as soon as I started trying to walk with the thing, I pulled a muscle in my lower back, right along the hip. Yes, it was stupid. You don't need to let me know that it was stupid. I fully admit that it was stupid. One of those times in life where you make a bad choice and you pay for it for a long time. Eventually, the back injury healed. I was able to deadlift at the gym again, all sorts of things. But this last fall, it just started hurting again for no really good reason. And it's still tender. It got bad enough in the last couple of months that I was only going to the gym once or twice a week. I was basically going to the gym and bench pressing or doing some other lifts, so I didn't lose too much strength in those areas. But otherwise, I wasn't going in. That didn't help. I've been lifting weights consistently for like 15, 16 years. And when you stop doing that, your metabolism crashes. And that's what happened to me. So I gained a lot of weight, none of it good. So I'm back in the gym. I'm doing a push day, a leg day, and a pull day. A pull day without deadlifts, which is so weird, to get the body back used to doing the work, as well as something I don't usually advocate for, which is cardio. I'm going to be doing just bike rides. Short bike rides on the days I lift, longer days on off days. And it's a temporary thing to try to help burn the body fat. But my diet protocol is what's interesting here. If you've watched me for a while, you know that I am not the biggest fan of ribeyes, not because I have anything against a ribeye steak. I just did a video showing you how I cook a ribeye, and I used the king of ribeyes to do it, the tomahawk. But I don't usually eat a lot of ribeyes. I like them. I tend to think they're a little overrated, especially given the price that you pay for them. I figured out the macro targets I need to get the protein that I need for my goals and my lifestyle, and to, in theory, burn the body fat off. And I have in the past joked that I could eat my two favorite cuts of beef every day for the rest of my life and be perfectly happy. And those are the tri-tip and the picanha, or sirloin cap as it's called at the store. So I decided, well, if we're going to actually buckle down, get the dairy and other junk out of things, and get back to a bare bones carnivore diet plus coffee, why not do it? So I'm announcing here that starting in the coming days, I am going to do nothing but eat sirloin cap and picanha every single day, except for a fasting day that I'll have once a week. I noticed the last few months that if I did a long fast, my stomach felt really good. Everything just felt really good. And I think I'm going to lean into that a little bit. I have a lot of I'm experienced with fasting. I know how to do it safely. By fasting, I mean, like, say on a Thursday night, I'll have my dinner at the usual time, and then I'll eat the next time on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. My goal was to eventually get to fairly regularly 48-hour fasts. That's the goal. The metabolic effects of fasting are really disputed in carnivore circles, but it's not a consensus, but there seems to be a broad acceptance that it's a pretty healthy way to do it if you know what you're doing, and I do know what I'm doing. So I'm going to be eating picanha that I cook myself and tri-tip that I cook myself every day pretty much, except for on the fasting day. And this may impact my content that I make. I may slow down on some of the content. I'll do at least a weekly video just giving you the update of the weight that I've lost. I need to lose probably 40 pounds to get to a place where I'm happy. I'd like to get below 20% body fat. I'm not even sure how much body fat that would be. we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I'm just trying to get back to where I was before just things started going off the rails a little bit in terms of consuming dairy and suddenly having injuries flare up at the gym and stressors. One of the things I have not done enough reading on, and maybe you can let me know in the comments, are you familiar with any research about the hormonal effect of stress and body fat storage, where your body will start storing fat when you're stressed if you're eating more, quote, calories than you normally might, especially if other things impact that, like all of a sudden you aren't exercising as much as you used to. If those kind of things can really negatively, cause you problems, because I had to have run into that if it's true. Let me know. I'm not an expert on that. I'm just curious. But I'm going to give you, at least a weekly, hopefully, update of, I dropped this many pounds. I went to the gym this many times. If I deviate from the plan, like let's say I'm doing a fast that day and it just isn't working, like my body is giving me all the signs that you should listen to when you're doing a voluntary fast to stop, right? And if I deviate in other ways from the plan, like let's say I run out of picanha and I can't find it at a store nearby, so I eat some ground beef or something. Or if I take my family out to one of the very few places we can go safely on a carnivore diet, which is Buffalo Wild Wings, because they fry their chicken wings in tallow, just don't get sauce or dipping sauce or rubs, and they're safe. If I do anything like that, I'll make sure to include it in the video below. And I will, like this tomahawk ribeye video I did, if I can get my actual good camera fixed, I will actually try to show you how I cook these things when it starts. I haven't actually, I'll be starting here in the next couple days. So all I know is I have enough picanha on hand to go about a week. I want to go at least 2-3 weeks at the beginning. So I may have to make another trip to Costco. Hopefully my rancher at Destiny Ranch, if you're watching this, because he knows about the channel I have here, keep the sirloin cap in stock and I will happily buy it. I also have enough tri-tip to last me for probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks at least. And then towards the end of that, I will let you know how I feel. If I'm really sick of my favorite cuts of beef and I want to change it up a little bit, you'll get an update from me on that score. But my general plan will be, in addition to black coffee unsweetened with no additives, including dairy, it'll be beef, maybe a little butter if I really look at the macro numbers and see that I need a little bit of fat, and plenty of salt. So my elemental electrolytes, that's going to be it. Sounds boring? Not really. This is essentially just a repackaged version of the carnivore diet that I did when I had the most success. The difference is there's no dairy, and I'm using unusual cuts of meat. But if you live on the West Coast, you're probably familiar with tri-tip. Much more common on the West Coast than it is in America's heartland where I live. If you're familiar with picanha because you've gone to Brazilian steakhouses, you know it's like the centerpiece cut that those places serve. Rare to find at the store, but I find it marked as sirloin cap at Costco pretty easily, and my rancher that I buy from sells it because it's a wonderful cut. Anyway, let me know what you think of this in the comments. I'll try to give you an update hopefully on Saturdays or maybe Mondays. I haven't decided yet. Let me know in the comments, please. Like, subscribe if you haven't. It does help, as does sharing this on social media. That helps a lot too. I'm Anthony Stine, the Practical Carnivore. Thanks for tuning in.